What's up guys, welcome back to another video here on my channel. My name is Victor, and for those of you who have been following me for a little bit more than a year, probably have noticed that I had, a little bit of a pause, let's say, when it comes to uploading those YouTube videos. Reason being is that, I basically closed down my agency, Victory Media, and started operating a brand, a former client of Victory Media called Igway in the US. Here is the logo, check it out if you want. However, basically it was, a roller coaster ride for the last year because I came from a pure Facebook and paid social background into operating a complete brand and the growth of a brand and with everything that comes with it, from understanding more of their, conversion rate optimization, redesigning their website, creating landing pages to, going ahead, setting up their email marketing, and, coming essentially from not having anything set up from the email marketing to, now sending 4 to 6 to 7 campaigns, sometimes email campaigns per week now. Therefore, I just wanted to share with you some of the insights that I've got from, growing that e-commerce brand, especially from the email marketing perspective. So this video is all about what I learned about email marketing in 2023, and especially the reason why I, put my hand like that weirdly was because we're just going to narrow it down to 5 things, 5 learnings from email marketing in 2023. Let's hop straight into it. So the first thing that I learned and was quite interesting was a realization for me is that, email marketing and your whole email revenue essentially consists of 2 buckets, which is your campaigns and your flows, all right? Email flows are triggered by a particular action that mostly a customer has done with you. This might be, abandoning their checkout, giving out, and, purchasing with you, meaning that the post-purchase flow is triggered, right? This is the bucket of your email revenue that is probably a lot more efficient because it's actually triggered by a customer action, and therefore you can be a lot more customized with your emails and what you recommend to that person or how you just communicate with that person. Or, the email bucket, which has a lot more scale to it because email campaigns email campaigns and email flows. So email campaigns, you can literally send out, however many you want, as long as kind of your unsubscribe rate, holds up and you're not literally, damaging and blowing through your audience, right? So email campaigns have a lot more scale, but they have probably a lot less efficiency than your email flows, which are essentially directly correlated by the amount of new traffic and customer interactions that actually trigger the flow. And those flows are a lot more efficient, but they're not as scalable. So that was number 1. And point number 2, I already kind of mentioned, flows are directly correlated by the amount of new traffic that you get and the amount of customer interactions that you essentially have in your business, right? Think about it like that. A flow will never be triggered as long as a customer doesn't really take an action with you, right? This might be signing up for your newsletter, abandoning, some browsing in your shop, abandoning their checkout, abandoning their card, or, making a purchase with you. Something along those lines are, kind of among the most important, most popular, customer interactions that mostly trigger a flow. However, imagine that nobody suddenly signs up for your newsletter anymore. Nobody actually makes a purchase with you anymore, or nobody abandons the checkout anymore. Suddenly, none of those flows are triggered anymore, and the amount of flows that you send out would be 0, all right? So therefore, this also goes into the other extreme. Suddenly a lot more people, there's a lot more scale and a lot more new blood coming into your business, a lot more new people signing up to your newsletter, a lot more people just abandoning the checkout or, making a purchase with you. Obviously, more and more flows of those are triggered. Therefore, it's generally pretty much directly correlated with the amount of new traffic and also, therefore, the amount of ad spend and other marketing initiatives that you have coming to your business. Number 3, segmentation, okay? Segmentation is, kind of the act of segmenting your audience in order to improve deliverability when it comes to your email marketing, as well as make your email marketing campaigns more efficient and effective, all right? This, for example, could be that you, by default, do not really send out any emails to people that have not been active or engaged with your emails in the last 60 days, right? Those are called, kind of unengaged audiences that usually, brands tend to suppress from their email newsletter or from their email campaigns in order to improve email deliverability as well as decrease their klaviyo bill, because it is tied to the amount of emails that you're sending out, and you want to send the most amount of emails to people that actually want to get those emails, right? Because it doesn't make you any money, it doesn't improve your deliverability, nor does it help anybody if you're constantly sending out emails to people that do not even open them, don't want to hear from you, and do not engage with your brand, right? So therefore, segmentation has its use, but I feel like a lot of brands are overcomplicating that segmentation part and really thinking about and overcomplicating their email, right? Because that, kind of unengaged and engaged segmentation was just one use case of segmentation. Another use case would, for example, be, okay, what type of products has this person purchased? What type of, products has the person abandoned to? Those are all forms of, segmentations that you could start working with, and therefore improve your email performance and maybe improve your, increase your ROI on your email, right? However, I feel like this is something that a lot of brands, the majority of brands shouldn't really care about until they have probably reached around 20 to 30,000 newsletter subscribers, all right? But below that, I would pretty much always recommend just the spray and pray approach, or spray and pay. I never really know what is it actually spray and pray? I don't know. However, long story short, until you have not knocked off that 20,000, 30,000 subscribers off your list, you should be focusing on different things when it comes to your email newsletter than segmenting your audience, because this will do more harm than good and will probably take up a lot of time off of your plate, as well as increase the complexity that is associated with your email marketing. Point number 4 is send more emails than you think. We started off sending out essentially an email per week by the beginning of this year. Now we're sending an email per day, just having maybe some couple of days of the month where we just don't send an email to not completely burn out of our audience. However, send more emails than you think. Every time when I talk with a brand, they always send more emails than I think. We started off last Black Friday, I think, sending out like 1 or 2 emails. This Black Friday, we've sent out 5 emails, right? And, when I talk to other brands, they're sending out sometimes even more emails, more with a segmented approach, but conversation for a different day. However, send more emails than you think, because you don't always think like, okay, like I'm exhausting my audience and, people then just don't want to open our emails anymore. First of all, and that is what's called the spotlight bias. A spotlight bias is a bias that, you think everybody's always thinking about you or your brand, and, they exactly understand and always see your email popping into their inbox, which is not the case for 99% of the people. Now, however, also, people, especially when you're not sending the same thing all the time, this especially comes in handy for sending more emails for brands that have more SKUs, like Igway, with a lot of different designs, a lot of different drops, a lot of different products, just generally a lot of different SKUs that we could also run offers against, right? So we can always say something new in an email. So as long as you have to say something new in an email, scale up that amount of emails that you're sending out per week or per day, even on those bigger sales days, until your unsubscribe rate, starts picking up, or your spam rate starts picking up. As long as you're under, I would say, 0.06 in unsubscribe rate and 0.04 in spam rate or something, you're good. Send more emails. And point number 5 is it's not really about the email, it's about the content. All right. So in the beginning especially, I was really concerned with the design of the email, right? And don't get me wrong, you want to have a beautifully designed email, and you want to have an email that, in my opinion, should reflect your brand to a certain degree, because it is an own marketing channel, and you want to make sure that you're actually communicating to your customers in a way that they, associate and that reflects your brand, all right? But at the end of the day, we did a lot of design A and B split tests throughout the year when it comes to the email design. But what always performed better is sheerly understanding, the content and improving the content, right? Something pretty straightforward, one might guess, but from my opinion, it was more like, okay, we need to improve that design. What I noticed always, or how we kind of really figured it out, is like, okay, didn't matter how kind of what the design tweaks were that we did, or like even kind of like, the headlines that were used to a certain degree, right? It was more how we really framed and more importantly, even what we framed, right? That is, the first thing is a little bit more, kind of unique to our business and to our brand, because we have a lot of different unique designs. We have a lot of different SKUs, a lot of different products, a lot of different categories, all right? So it was always, if we kind of had a content or one email sending out with design A or design B, the design was the most important thing that we send out, kind of the most important indicator for how the performance of this email was going to turn out. Second thing was then how we portrayed this content, right? Was it like, okay, new in design A, or, almost running low on stock on design A, right? It was more about that, about how to frame it than the design, which is, for example, a more important thing when it comes to Facebook ads. The design actually sometimes makes or breaks the creative, right? So it really is about, more the content than about the design. So focus on what you want to say, not how you want to say it, especially when you start out with your email marketing. So those were the 5 learnings that I've had last year in 2023 about, email marketing, about taking over and operating and scaling the email marketing for the brand way, that I'm now fully operating in the US, right? And that is, first, campaigns and flows are, kind of 2 different buckets that are fueling into the whole email marketing performance, right? Secondly, flows are directly correlated with the amount of new traffic and amount of different marketing initiatives that you launch for that business. Third, segmentation doesn't really matter until you're more than $30,000 subscribers deep. Fourth, send more emails than you think. Trust me. Just take a look or have a look always at that, unsubscribe rate, spam rate. As long as that's look good, send more emails. You're going to make more money. All right. And then it's not about the email. It's not about, the design. It's about what you're sending. All right. So focus more on your marketing calendar. Focus more on what you want to say when, and not how you want to say it or how you want to design it, because this will take up unnecessary amount of your graphic designer's time, of your time, of everybody's time, which is actually not leading to a profitable outcome. So I hope those are 5 tips that you can take into your 2024 and implement into your email marketing. Email marketing is really what, made, a lot of our operation really profitable, and it's something that adds to our revenue cake a ton. Therefore, make sure to not underestimate this channel for you and your brand, especially if you have a lot of SKUs, especially if you have a lot of different things that you can communicate. All right, but this is a topic for a different day. So thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one.